it is now time for me to give y'all my 2 cents about Black Adam. Now, I did give you guys a very, very quick reaction out of the theaters when I went to go see it. Look, I will, like I said, I did think that the movie overall was good, but it did have some issues. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to do it spoiler free as well. But I am going to just kind of expand on my thoughts a little bit more. And maybe if B. Avery will link up with me here and we get this spoiler review going, you could hear more of my detailed thoughts on Black Adam. So I'm gonna give you, of course, the good, the bad, the reason, and my score in a second. So, like, first of all, let's just kind of go through what Black Adam is all about. Basically, after years, thousands of years of being asleep, Black Adam just wakes up, and clearly there's some evil afoot, and the question comes about of whether he's going to be a hero or a villain, and what's he going to do. So that's just a very basic, bland idea of what this movie is about. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but first and foremost, one of the best things in Black Adam, if I'm talking about the good here, is the action. The action in Black Adam is phenomenal. When I tell you Black Adam and the fighting, the violence, the visual effects are top notch. I mean, this is some stuff where I'm like, yo, Marvel, take notes, because I'm looking at the VFX, I'm looking at all the visual effects that are going on, and I'm like, yo, this is clean, this is tight, this is what a superhero fight should look like. I absolutely loved what they did with the action. It felt like a legit superhero movie, for sure. The Rock, fantastic. He does exactly what you would hope for in being Black Adam. He is Black Adam, right? Now, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later. But The Rock absolutely handles business. He is super mean. Like, I love how he deals with the villains and everything. And I like the journey that his character takes. Because the character actually does go through some good development throughout the story. So that is also a plus. Oh my gosh, my other favorite was absolutely Dr. Fate. My goodness, talk about the visual effects as well. Dr. Fate, listen, Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate is going to put Doctor Strange to shame. Like, it's not even a contest at this point. The visual effects for Dr. Fate were fantastic. I'm talking about like the way he looked, the way he moved. I'm talking about like the magic that he used as well. Fantastic. That was amazing. Right after Dr. Fate, and shout out to Pierce Bronson, by the way, GOAT, James Bond. But right after him, Hawkman. Oh my gosh, yo. Aldous Hodge was so great as Hawkman. I absolutely loved his character. I loved how he went about things. He kind of gave me the similar vibe, and I guess you could say his character type was kind of like, I don't want to say like Deadshot from Suicide Squad with Will Smith, but it was kind of like that. Like, I'm the leader, I'm going to do the right thing, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to lead these miscreants and stuff, right? And Aldous Hodge did a fantastic job in this role. It's so funny. It is so funny. And for the people that have seen it, maybe you can corroborate this for me. I swear Aldous Hodge was doing his best T'Challa impression. Whoever made this, like, I swear they tried to make Aldous Hodge T'Challa. My man came in there with the kente cloth and the colors. He had a whole spaceship. And I swear when they go in through the spaceship, it looked like when you entering in Wakanda. Even his mask, his whole thing with the nanotech and everything. I'm like, bro, if you want to be T'Challa, just say that, because I'll take it. I'll take it. Aldous Hodge as T'Challa. Now, in the past, fun fact, he did say he wanted to play T'Challa way, way, way in the past. But I'm just saying, for this movie, all this man was missing was an African accent. And if he hit that, my man was in full T'Challa mode, straight up. But, of course, what I loved about him as well was like, yo, they made him no punk. Okay, he was no punk, and boy, when it was him versus Black Adam, it was on and popping. I loved every single time that they would go head to head, butt heads. What I loved here is the fact that, like, obviously Black Adam is like the main character, obviously, but they don't let Hawkman just be some chump. It ain't like Hawkman is coming and he want the smoke, okay? And he can handle the smoke. Matter of fact, he gonna blow some of that smoke as well. So I loved what they did with the confrontation between them. And of course, this also leads to it baked into the theme that I thought they did really well with Black Adam, which was, you know, what does it mean to be a hero? What does it mean to be a different type of hero? You know, and I thought that they really leaned into that very well, and it worked. And I liked what they did with it. And I would also say, I like the end of the story. The end of the story, if you're a comic book fan, I think you'll appreciate the refreshing take that they have on Black Adam. So those are all my goods. I like the themes. I like the action. I like the visuals. The individual performances from Pierce Bronson, you know, Aldous Hodge and The Rock, all top notch. So those things for me worked. Now I got to get into the bad. All right. Now, as I mentioned, The Rock is fantastic, right? You know, he's going to do his thing. That's no question about it. One of my issues, and these are all minor, by the way, so please don't come and attack me or whatever. I'm just giving you minor issues because I'm a critic and that's my job. So some of my minor issues were, I don't think The Rock was mean enough, okay? Because throughout the whole movie, it's really trying to set him up to be an anti-hero. And I'm sorry, if all you're doing as an anti-hero is just killing, you know, bad guys or whatever, okay, that's fine. But I was hoping for a little bit more from his personality and being a deeper contrast from a traditional hero. They kind of sort of lean into it, but I just didn't think they leaned into it enough just to really separate Black Adam from, you know, any other, you know, type of hero, right? So I wanted a little bit more on that angle, right? Just make him a little bit more of a anti-hero who, yeah, sure, he can do heroic things, but maybe he does the heroic things for different reasons. Maybe. Okay. The biggest issue I have with Black Adam is actually going to be found in the writing. The writing for Black Adam was incredibly generic. And not only was it generic, it was also very predictable. And to be honest with you, sometimes it was kind of dumb. Now, I'm not going to reveal what character it is, but there's a certain situation that happens with the character at the end that I thought, sure, visually, this is really nice. This is really cool. But what they ended up doing with this character, I thought, was incredibly stupid. I understand you could make this character get to a certain point of the story to build up, you know, the big climax at the end. Totally get that. But the way that they did it, it made that character's actions less significant and only just a plot device to set up Black Adam. And I'm like, what are you doing? You mean to tell me that you went and did all this other stuff and all you could have done was picked up a phone? Or you could have just dialed, or you just could have IM somebody, you could have DM'd them. You could, that's all you had to do, but you're gonna do all of this stuff. So again, it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, golly, like, what are y'all doing with this writing? You know. So beyond that, the writing still had more issues. And one of the other issues I had was like, there were too many opportunities where you could tell the writing got disrupted for the sake of fan appeasement. So what do I mean by that? Let me use the example of catchphrase. And for you that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. when we talk about catchphrases, I want us to just think about the fact that Black Adam has not been around for 5,000 years. How the hell does he know what a catchphrase is? But you inject that into the film for the sake of a joke or for the sake of fan appeasement. And I'm like, you don't need to do that just for a cheap laugh. And the film actually proves that you don't have to, because I want you to also refer to the sarcasm, right? Think about how they did the sarcasm. It was organic, it made sense, he didn't understand, it was funny, and the way they played sarcasm is exactly how that character should have continuously been written out. But when they do the other things like catchphrase, it's almost like you're going to a fine dining restaurant, you about to have you a nice steak dinner, and for your appetizer, they bring you some McDonald's fries. Like, why am I compromising the quality of the meal just for a cheap joke? So that's kind of the issue that I have with the writing. Like, it doesn't break the movie, but it does have a couple eye roll and questionable moments where I'm like, why'd y'all do that? Like, y'all did that just for a cheap laugh? And the reason I say this also is because a lot of times we don't need cheap laughs to enjoy the quality of a film. A lot of times, if you have a good, tight movie with a good, tight story, that can be the fan appeasement. That can be the reason why we love the film. But when you kind of take a break from the story and the writing, well, now it's not as tight. Now it's just kind of loosey-goosey and it's got all these breaks and stuff. So I think that it had a really good opportunity to have a tighter script and to just, and I'm not talking about Oscar award-winning Broadway, so miss me with that. I'm just saying, like, yo, you don't need to take these breaks for a cheap joke. Just tell the story. If you tell the story, we will all agree and like the film just fine. What else was there? Actually, I think that was it. I think that was it, really. So yeah, the writing was just really, it was just basic for me. It felt very generic. But so when it comes to the reason, let's go to the reason now. Black Adam is an action-packed film that I think checks off all the boxes of a superhero movie that would have came out 15 years ago. It spends way too much time worrying about fan appeasement and, fan appeal without realizing that fans would equally appreciate just a good story. Despite all these minor flaws, though, with the movie, the rock star power and the action and the visuals are more than enough to carry you through this movie. Now, I would not say that this movie is about to change the hierarchy of the DC universe, but it is an okay entry into the cinematic universe that will leave people more entertained than disappointed. Now, I know some people have been asking me like, yo, should I watch this in IMAX or whatever? Listen, I'm just going to say a matinee, you know what I'm saying? If you can watch it as a matinee, do that, and that way you don't feel, just in case if you might be disappointed, it's only a matinee. It's not going to kill you on the dollars. But I would recommend checking it out. When it comes to the rating for Black Adam, I think I've got to give it a solid 7 out of 10. The movie is fine. It's got everything you want in an action film. Like I said, it does come off as a little generic. It does feel like something made from 2008, or whatever. But at the same time, it's just fine, and it does the job as you could hope for. Yes, it does have, by the way, a post-credit scene, so make sure you stay at the end of that. My only gripe with the post-credit scene is, like, I like what it does for fans. I don't like what it does for the story. And what I'm talking about is it's raising more questions than anything else. Because I'm sitting there like, hey, that's great, but why? So maybe that gets addressed in another movie. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know. But for now, I'm looking at that post-credit scene like, great, why? So anyway, that's how I felt about Black Adam. Let me know, how did you feel about the movie if and when you do get a chance to see it? When you do, come on back to this video, let me know. And feel free to let me know, where do you rank it? On a scale from 1 to 10, Where do you put Black Adam? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're new here and you like what you see, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss out the next time I drop a video. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.